Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes, and welcome to the 7th video in our series on classic guitar riffs. Today we look at Wipeout, the 1962 smash hit by the Safaris. Wipeout is equally famous as a drum solo recording as well as a classic surf rock song. As an instrumental, it sold over 1.7 million copies and rose to number 2 on the Billboard Top 100, prevented from the top spot only by one of Stevie Wonder's all-time classic tunes. Surf rock relates to the sound of the 60s, particularly where solid body guitars like the Fender Stratocaster were heavily featured, using light gauge strings where the player could bend the strings easily and bend the pitch around, and also where the use of the effect reverb was heavily used in the songs. And we'll hear later on when I play Wipeout on the electric guitar, I will use a lot of reverb on the recording, and that sort of identifies with the concept of surf rock. Wipeout is a 12-bar blues, but it was recorded in the key of B major, the key that has 5 sharps in it, which is a little unusual for a guitar classic. However, we're going to learn the riff today in the original key, that is B major, and as always I'll play the notes through on the acoustic guitar first and show you the fret positions and tell you the names of the notes, and then we'll end with an electric guitar version in the true surf rock classic style, so you can hear how it all comes together when played on an electric guitar. Throughout this riff we're going to only be using the D and the G strings on the guitar. That's the 4th string and the 3rd string on the guitar. We'll also only be using our first 3 fingers on our left hand, and our picking style will be largely alternate picking as we go through. Wipeout was recorded at approximately 160 beats per minute, so it's quite a fast song, and there are a lot of notes in the riff. So we're going to slow it down when we talk our way through it, but I'll first of all play the riff right through, the 12-bar blues, then we'll have a look at the individual notes. Okay, so as you can see there's a lot of notes there, there's a lot of alternate picking on the right hand. Our fingers have got quite a fair bit to do, and there's some long leaps up and down the guitar neck there. There's many different places we could play Wipeout, but I think this is going to be the easiest for you to pick up, and then once you get confident with the notes you can experiment in other positions on the guitar. Now, the original recording of Wipeout was virtually a jam that happened in the studio, and the song was sort of put together in a hurry as a B-side for what the group thought would be a more popular A-side. But when they finished the recording, it was Wipeout was the one that actually was deemed to be the song likely to be more successful. So you can hear in the original recording that the melody was sort of even not fully formed in that recording, and for that reason the riff I'm playing here is slightly different to the original recording. It's more like the second verse riff that happens on the original recording. At any rate, the way I'm playing it will be more predictable for you when you're trying to learn this riff. Okay, so there's really 3 parts to it, and my hand slides to 3 different positions on the guitar neck. It is in the key of B, and B is the 4th fret of the 3rd string on the guitar. So in essence, we're going to be playing where a B chord would be formed, where an E chord would be formed, so that's going to be up here on the 9th fret. So the 4th fret is the basic position for the B chord, 9th fret for the E chord, 11th fret for the F sharp chord. And in a 12-bar blues in the key of B major, B, E and F sharp are the normal 3 chords that you'll strike, and they are the chords that you will strike in Wipeout. So playing it very slowly, the first riff starts on the note F sharp on the D string. So 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, the note F sharp, and then it goes like this. So F sharp, A, 2nd fret, 3rd string, A sharp, 3rd fret, 3rd string, and then B, 4th fret. Now, if you think of those notes, they are the only notes in the first section of the riff: F sharp, A sharp, and B. So I'm going to play that first section really slowly. Just watch my left hand and see if you can duplicate the notes in the correct order. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So you'll notice it goes from B back to A. It walks its way up chromatically. So F sharp, A sharp, B, then A, F sharp, and then it does the chromatic walk again. Okay, so I'll play that riff now at that speed and see if you can play along with me. Okay, let's go. That's the end of the first section of the song, and you'll notice that when I slowed it down, I'm just playing all downstrokes, and I recommend when you're starting to learn this riff at that slower speed, just play it in downstrokes. But when you take it up to speed, you will want to alternate your picking on the right hand to be able to keep up with it. Okay, so that's the end of the first section. Then we bring our hand and we keep our shape, same 3-finger shape, but we bring our hand right down here to the 9th fret of the guitar, and we play the same riff. But as in a normal 12-bar blues, we only get the chance to play that riff twice, not 4 times like we did when we were back up here. So, as I'll do the swap over now between the 2 positions. Now slide up and play that riff here. Okay, so let's just have a look at the notes we're playing here. So B major is a key that's got all sharps in it, 5 sharps. Every note except B and E of the 7 notes of the music alphabet are sharped in the key of B. So if we have to call a note by a name other than one of the 7 alphabet notes, we'll have to use the term sharp. Okay, so here we're actually playing the note B, and then D, D sharp, and E. Okay, so B, we're only on the 4th or the 3rd string. B is on the 9th fret of the 4th string. D is on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. D sharp is the 8th fret. E is the 9th fret. So, now we go back to the original position, but this time we only play the riff twice. Now we slide right up, because we're now building the riff around the F sharp chord, we slide right up to the 11th fret. Again, we're using the same 3 fingers, same 2 strings. So the riff here now becomes this. We only get a chance to play it once. And then we go. Okay, so we've got, let's look at this first bit. Okay, so we're here on the 11th fret of the guitar, so that's the note C sharp, the note E, F, and F sharp. Okay, C sharp, E, F, F sharp. And now this is new, this bit we go, so here we are, we go F sharp, F, E, and then we slide back 2 frets. So just notice the fingers I've used here for us to be able to sort of work our way back down from an F sharp chord to an F chord to an E chord, which is what the riff's doing. Notice how I do that transition back to this riff. Then I slide my fingers back to where you'd expect the riff to be played against the E chord. So then F sharp, F, E, 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 D, and then here we are on C sharp. And then we go back to the first riff. But then we're at the end of the riff now, the end of the song. So the last bit is this. Okay, so B, A, F sharp, then B, A, and then 4 F sharps. So let's try the hard bit. The hard bit is this progression that goes from F sharp back to E and then back to B. So I hope you've enjoyed working your way through the classic guitar riffs in Wipeout. If you have any friends that play the drums, they should already be well aware of the infamous drum solos in Wipeout, but if not, point them in the direction of YouTube and that classic 1962 recording by the Safaris. As always, keep in touch via my website, that's www.brianhayes.biz, B-I-Z, Z for Zorro. Drop me an email if you have any basic questions about playing the electric guitar. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the best way to keep up to date with all of the new videos as I upload them for the various instruments that I play and teach. We'll fade out now with an electric guitar version of Wipeout. There's heaps of reverb and use of the whammy bar and all of the things that made surf rock such a classic in the 1960s. Bye for now.